Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing 6 Rocket League update ideas which Musty recently posted in a video where he was trolling John Sandman, Rizzo and Mertzy. Now although Musty's video was mostly a prank, the ideas in it are actually all really interesting and I want to share my thoughts on them with you guys. In the background we've got some apparently Jack versus O'Khaled gameplay. I'm not going to be referring to any of that during this video, but I'm sure you guys would rather watch that in the background than me beaning around in free play, so do enjoy that. And now at the end of all of Musty's ideas, after I've talked about them, I will also talk about my personal favorite Rocket League update idea that the Rocket League community has come up with, so do stick around till the end if you want to hear about that as well. Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1, 1 million subtags / banner. And also there's a second part to this one, which is a check mark for community figures. So, I think that Musty probably talked about this and he probably added this to his video to increase the likelihood of John Sandman, Rizzo and Mertzy getting pranked because they are all huge YouTubers. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad idea. I actually really like this, and this is coming from someone who will probably not get 1 million subscribers in any time soon, maybe not ever. But I still think this would be really nice to see, the recognition being given to YouTubers who have done so much for the game would be really awesome. And on top of that, Rocket League have actually done this before, or at least something similar, by giving RLCS casters titles in game, so I could actually see this being done, and I would be really happy if it was. But yeah, the second part of this is probably even more important, the check marks for community figures, to prevent people impersonating them, scamming their viewers, and just in general being toxic. I think that that would be great. It would be a good solution to stop all that from happening, and this is also something which has already been done by Psyonix, so I could see them doing this. They have added club verification, so adding account verification for the main accounts of content creators and personalities would make a lot of sense and prevent all of this negativity from bleeding into the game. Okay, so on to idea number 2, Eternal Rocketeer, a rank for top 100 players. I also think this would be really nice, and not only to give those very top players additional things to shoot for, but also to give viewers of competitive Rocket League and viewers of high-ranked streamers more interesting content to watch. Right now, can you imagine if the gameplay that you're watching between 2 of the best 1v1 players on the planet was actually happening near the end of a season when I'm sure both of them would be extremely high rated. If apparently Jack was streaming 1v1 ranked gameplay where he's shooting for rank 1 and maybe even getting a unique title if he can get there, he would get so many viewers, and that would be really cool to see. So I'm all for this idea as well. I think so far all good ideas, all ideas that I can get behind and that I don't think would take anything away from the game, and wouldn't be that difficult to implement. The actual specific rank titles, I don't know if like Musty said here, Season X rank 47 1v1, I don't know if being that specific would be necessary. Maybe top 10, top 100 and rank 1, 2, 3 perhaps would be sufficient. But yeah, on this topic, regardless of the specifics, I think this would be fantastic. I think it would be great for the game. Now there's probably going to be a few Supersonic Legends crying if this did go in, that they're no longer the highest rank. All I gotta say to them is get good. So yeah, another great idea from Musty. Okay, so on to the next one, a Underglow season reward. Purely cosmetic, and yeah, I have seen this being asked for before. I don't remember where it originally came from, but yeah, there's not really much to say on this one. I think it's a cool idea, but unlike the previous 2 ideas, there may be something that I'm not aware of that prevents this from happening in the game. Maybe there's you know, a problem with adding this to the game that I don't know about, because I don't know a thing about game design. I don't know a thing about how Rocket League is made. So I will say that although the previous ideas seem like they're extremely easy to add from a technical standpoint, this one I cannot say with as much confidence that it would be. I'll have to leave that to the experts. But in terms of the concept, yeah, I love it. So another one that gets a yes from me. Okay, so on to perhaps the biggest topic, new game modes. Musty says that he came up with these in 2 minutes, but the idea is obviously a lot more widespread than this. And obviously, when it comes to new game modes, the first name that everybody will think of is Lethimer and Lethimer's maps. Just hire Lethimer, lol, is something that will often be said. Now, there's actually a lot to talk about here, but I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as possible. First thing I want to say is that I love Lethimer's maps. I love all the new game modes that Lethimer and other map makers are coming up with. And that I do really love a lot of the different game modes that have actually been added to Rocket League. My personal favorites are Heat Seeker, and you know, sometimes Hoops can be a ton of fun, although I'd love to see that on a bigger map personally, but that's another topic. Yeah, I think that adding new game modes can be incredibly fresh. It can be really fun. So overall, yeah, seems cool. But let's talk about some of the issues with this that again I can't really know for certain. Number one, Psyonix have more data, they have more knowledge on this topic than anyone. And saying simple blanket statements like adding new game modes can only be a net positive isn't really something that anyone can say apart from Psyonix, because like I said, they've got the data, they know what adding new game modes to Rocket League actually does to the overall player numbers, what it actually does to those individual players. Maybe after playing Heat Seeker, some players never play normal Rocket League again. I don't know. But in general, I imagine that the idea with new maps and new game modes is to get people to play Rocket League, and then also to get them interested in the actual standard game mode, which is the Rocket League equivalent of the beautiful game. Which doesn't need to be changed. We don't see any new maps in football, or as you guys like to call it, soccer, in real life. You don't need it. Rocket League by itself, standard Rocket League, is an amazing game. I'm sure we can all agree with that. And I personally, I do have a lot of faith in Psyonix on this topic, knowing what the best thing to do is. And you know, I think that sometimes we as a community can be a bit too fast to jump to conclusions and say, what on earth are Psyonix doing? Why aren't they adding 1,000 new game modes, which are all obviously good for the game, right? When really we don't really know that. So I will say personally, I think that experimenting with these game modes would be really good. It would be really cool to see. Maybe the way to do it, at least for ranked playlists or even casual playlists, is not to have 50 new game modes added in, or even 4, as Musty's tweeted here. But what about just one? What about a weekly new game mode that can just exist there? Because that would give a larger player base to that game mode, which really does help the matchmaking for these lower population queues. 2v2 and 3v3 have tons of players playing them. And even 1v1 these days, but sometimes if there were loads of different playlists and loads of different games, the actual matchmaker wouldn't work as well for making fair lobbies, and people just wouldn't have as much fun in those lobbies. So yeah, that's another thing to think about, is how many game modes is ideal. And again, that's something that Psyonix probably know far more about than we do, so we just have to leave that to them. Now, splitting up the player base isn't as much of a problem these days with how popular Rocket League has become, but I do still think that when it comes to queued up game modes, the solution would be to have maybe a new game every week or a new game every 2 weeks or something. That would be my personal preference. But speaking to the Lethimer maps and all of the other maps and all of the custom maps and things, you know, that would probably be a different topic that I'm not going to go into right now, because it's just far too detailed and there's too much to it for this video. But yeah, they're all really cool. I reiterate, I love Lethimer's maps. I love all of the other maps that are coming out from Rocket League. I love seeing that creativity in the game, and I do think that that could be a really good way to get new players interested in Rocket League, and maybe even stick around and play the actual game as well, which is of course the most important thing in my opinion, because that is the game Rocket League, which we all love and we all want to see have the most success possible. Okay, so going from the most diverse topic to now the simplest one, new standard maps. We actually did just see one of these, as Musty tweeted here. We've got a new map in the game now, a new standard map, which looks really, really cool. And yeah, there isn't really too much to say about this one. I think it would be it would be great. It would be fresh. Why not? Of course, it takes a lot of work to make these maps, and you know, sometimes this is another thing that the community can be extremely ungrateful for, just assuming that you know, Psyonix can press a button and suddenly a new map is there. But you know, it does take a lot of work making sure that all this gets added to the game without anything getting broken. And personally, I don't know anything about that whole process. So all I'll say is that I think it would be great. You know, new maps are always a good thing in my opinion. They're always fresh. And this is one of the easier topics to just say, yes, why not? But it's not one of the more important things to discuss. Okay, so on to Musty's last idea, which is creator shops. I don't think this one is necessary. You know, all of the other ideas that have been mentioned here, I think I like a lot. But when it comes to creator shop, I don't see. I don't think that is something that should be added to the game. Again, he may have just added this into this video to improve the quality of the prank, because seeing this might have just really sold it to Musty, Rizzo, or John Sandman. But with creator codes already being in the game, I don't think that a creator shop would be necessary. On top of that, we already have creator codes. It also does get it gets a lot more complicated deciding who gets to be in the creator shop and who doesn't, when there is in fact monetary gain involved. When it's something like a player title or a banner or something cosmetic like that, it's less of an issue. You know, giving a player title or giving an in-game title to all the YouTubers who have 1 million subs, that doesn't, it's not going to create any controversy. However, if you add one creator to the esports, or to the creator shop, sorry, and another one isn't added, that would be it could be extremely controversial. It could be a negative thing to have in the game. Now, as for creator decals and things, that's a different story, but again, I think they would probably have to be free and available to everybody in order for there not to be too much controversy here. I do know that it's an extremely complicated thing. The esports shop is very, very complex. There's probably a lot of legal hoops to jump through on that front that Psyonix probably don't want to have to deal with when it comes to creators, which is a far more unclear topic. Who is a Rocket League content creator? Who isn't? How many Rocket League videos do you have to upload? How many Rocket League streams do you have to do to qualify as a Rocket League creator? Are you allowed to stream other games regularly? Are you allowed to upload videos for other games regularly? There's so many things on this that I think are just far too complex to make this worth it. And personally, I wouldn't really care for it myself. I would rather have a free-to-use Johnny Boy decal in the game than a creator shop Johnny Boy decal in the game. That's just my, you know, personal take on it. But I reiterate, I imagine that this was probably, and like Musty said, he mainly added this because he knew he'd be showing this to creators, so it was probably just added to improve the quality of the prank. Extremely complex idea, very unlikely to happen. But there is actually another interesting reply to this from JJTube, in brackets low clout. I wonder if he probably had some beef with Keemstar, if he's got that in his username here. But yeah, he actually adds on to this and says, you know what else I've been wanting since RLCS started? Caster packs. Let me pick what voices I want talking in arenas, just like the one for Champions Field or the Hoops map. And that is an idea that I really love. I would love to do that for Rocket League myself. And just like I said with the decal, I wouldn't want that to cost anything, personally. We already have creator codes in the game. There's already so many ways that Rocket League players and viewers and fans can support the content creators they love. I would rather have that universally available, but that's just me personally. I'm not saying that is the best way to do it. Maybe there's something I haven't thought about, but just in my opinion, having those things added to the game for everybody to be able to use free of cost would be really cool. Having it behind a paywall, I personally wouldn't want that. So that's just my take on it. You guys will definitely, I'm sure, have plenty of opinions there. That's fine. And yeah, I think that is all of Musty's ideas that he did post. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. A lot to talk about there. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about them as well. But there's also one more. I said that I was going to talk about one more idea. You might have thought that the caster packs was it. It wasn't. There's a whole other community idea, which I think would actually be the best thing to have added to Rocket League. And again, this is just my personal opinion. And it is one of those topics which is also probably something that Psyonix know more about than we do as outside players of the game. But anyway, it's team mode. I would love to see team mode added to the game, where you can make a team with your friends, and then you play in a team mode queue, and your team has a rating instead of you having a personal rating, and that averaging out when you queue up for ranked with your teammates. Now, the reason I think this would be really cool is mainly because when you play with friends of yours who are not all the same rank, you tend to just get bad matchups these days. The Rocket League matchmaking queue is very good at pairing together teams of the same rank. When you solo queue, you mostly will get a very, very close lobby and 50-50 game. But if I queue up with two friends who are 2 ranks lower than me, 2 platinum players or something like that, you're going to lose 90% of your games, and it just isn't as fun because your friends can't keep up with the lobby, and there is no compensation such as the higher rated player being able to carry, because what tends to happen is the entire other team will be the same rank as the highest rated player. So I think team mode would be a good solution to sort that out. People would be able to play with their friends in competitive. I've heard some people say that's what casual is for. I can't disagree more with that statement. Casual is not the same as ranked, and that's just me personally. Again, you guys are allowed to disagree, but playing casual mode with your friends is just not the same as playing competitive Rocket League in ranked. They're not even the same game, and it doesn't give anywhere near the same amount of reward when you win to you personally. Yeah, I don't think casual mode is a good substitute for it. Definitely not when there's no punishment for leaving and being replaced by a bot after 5 seconds. So team mode would solve that. And secondly, I think team mode would also just be a really, really cool way to get new people to play the game, because you'd have your own team that you can play with. And one of the important aspects to it, in my opinion, would be letting players have unlimited amount of teams. So let's say friend A and friend B of yours are online, you queue up as that team, and then the next day friend A and friend C are online, and you 3 can queue up, and you have a different team, different rating. And it would be awesome to see at the end of a season which team, probably a pro team, maybe not, maybe a dark horse unknown team, could take rank 1 in the team ladder. Psyonix have done this before in Rocket League's predecessor games, so this is an idea that they've already looked into a lot, I'm sure. I'm sure they have their reasons for not having it in the game already, but those are my reasons for wanting it, and I'm sure you guys got plenty more to say on that one as well. So, in conclusion here, we've done a lot of talking there about potential Rocket League updates, about things that we would maybe like to see added to the game, which would be small quality of life improvements, things that would be, really big changes to the game as well. But in conclusion, I want to say that personally, I trust Psyonix. I think the direction that they're taking Rocket League is a really good one. And the things I want to really drive home are, first of all, patience. We need to be patient as a community. We're far too quick to jump on Psyonix and to jump on the Rocket League devs and say, why aren't you doing this? Where's that? And not even realize that it may already be in the pipeline, or there may be a really good reason for that not to be added to the game that we just don't know about, because Psyonix have more data than us. They know more about the game than anyone who's watching this video, I'm sure. Definitely more than I know. So we can all have our opinions and we can all share them, but we also have to accept whatever does get decided on. And yeah, try to be constructive with our criticism as well. It's another very important thing. There's no point throwing around insults to Psyonix and the devs, who I'm sure are doing the absolute best that they can to make the game that we all love as good as it can be. So that's what I've got to say to you guys, the viewers. Now to my fellow creators, we got to stop being dramatic. I see a lot of very dramatic and over the top takes recently. Some people saying that it's the creators that keep the game alive, which is hilarious. If anyone genuinely thinks, unironically, that it's the Rocket League YouTubers who keep the game alive, then that's completely insane. Rocket League is so much bigger these days, and it's so much more widespread than the content creators. The content creators help, and they do a lot for the game, but the actual game itself is far bigger than all that. This whole dramatic idea that the Rocket League community knows what's best, that Psyonix are killing the game, I couldn't disagree more. I personally trust them. I think they're doing a great job, and I love the direction that Rocket League's gone in this year in particular. It's been awesome to see the growth of the game in 2020, and I just can't wait to see what's next. But yeah, like I said earlier, guys, these are just my opinions. Please do leave your own comments in the comment section here if you want to add anything to this discussion, or if you want to tell me that I'm an idiot and I'm wrong. Please do that as well. I'd love to hear all of what you guys have to say. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I've given a lot of my own thoughts on these kind of update ideas in the past, and I thought it would be good to just get them all in one place. Because I have been thinking about this for a long time, making videos for Rocket League for over 4 years now. So yeah, looking forward to what's happening next, looking forward to all the big updates, and looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say as well on these topics. But yeah, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey guys. Now that I have some time to take the floor, I would like to share with you the thing that Rocket League truly needs. It needs a movie, like Mortal Kombat. Are you just chilling your own humorless tweet, Mr. Editor? I hear you ask. Yes. Isn't League of Rockets content basically a film anyway? I hear you ask that too. Yes. But you don't hear me, it needs to be like Mortal Kombat. We have not hit that level yet. Anyway, thanks for listening.